I'm Jency Allison Weeks. I played Sadie, or Susan Atkins, the one who... Oh.
There you go, get in there.
Okay. Yeah, the one who was talking very high-pitched to Sharon Tate. How I got into that mindset was watching a lot of movies, researching. My Google, search probably looked really weird because it had like, what happens when you're on pot? What happens when you're on LSD? What happens when you're doing this? And Brad was great at putting us all in that mindset about having, being true to these real people, these real killers, as well as respecting the victims. But you just kind of get in a dark mindset and you just kind of stay there as long as you can, and it's crazy. So.
Great job.
Hey, I'm Skyler Davenport. I played Patricia, Katie, Krenwinkle, and and definitely the same thing as Jency. Tons and tons of research. Research. Lots of videos. Unfortunately, there weren't very many videos of her when she was younger. So I watched a lot of when she was older, did a lot of reading, and a lot of other actors' interpretations of her. So it was heartbreaking to watch her other videos, but lots of research. And at the end of the day, lots of Jim Carrey and My Little Pony to reset after that murder scene, because holy crap.
Hi, I'm Nick Martin, and all right, sweet. I played Dennis Wilson. To get in that role of all the sex, drugs, and alcohol, you don't want to know. Neither do you, babe. Sorry. I just basically went around Dallas and Dallas traffic just being like ba 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 ba. Everyone just mad, just really, really upset. But I had a good time, so. And thank you to all the actors. Everyone on here was amazing. The cast and the crew, everyone was amazing. And you, Brad, especially you. So.
I'm Chelsey Fairless, so thank you. My dad was the person who got me into this, wherever he went. The guy in the tie-dye with the long hair that's hiding in the dark over there. I play Linda Kasabian, who was one of the main witnesses for the trials, and she committed some crimes, but she didn't really kill anybody, and she was just kind of the lookout for all these vicious people, and realized that she didn't really want to be involved into it. So it wasn't too hard to get into that mindset when you kind of already feel like that anyways. It was like, I don't really like any of these weirdos, so I don't want to be a part of it anyways. But Brad was awesome to involve me in this and to kind of help along and give me some ideas of what you're kind of thinking in your head, and trying not to be crazy wasn't really all that hard. So anyways, I appreciate it, and you guys all did amazing, and I'm very proud to be a part of this and to add my name to the list. So thanks.
Hi there, my name is Tyler Corie. I played Bobby Beausoleil. Really, it was, we've all wanted to stab somebody at some point, so just kind of went with it. Me and David had a really good scene, and before that, I could just tell that, I think my character would be so manipulated that he would just do anything, really. So, that's about it. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Chad Bozarth. I played Terry Melcher, the record producer who rejected Charles Manson. I did a lot of reading on Wikipedia for this role, so I trust that Wikipedia was accurate. And I just want to commend Jency that she had to do Googling and research to see what it was like to be high and that type of thing. So congratulations on that. I would have had to do the same actually, but That's good. So thank you. It was a pleasure working with everybody and with Brad especially. He's definitely an actor's director. So can't thank him enough for the opportunity. Thanks, Brad.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Leilani, and I played Abigail Folger, the Folger's copy heiress. And to get into the role, I pretty much did the same thing as Jency, where I was looking around on Google and things of that nature to find out any information I could. Because as it turned out, there was they thought that she might have had some drugs in her system at the time, so, you know, being the Folger's family, they didn't want that kind of notoriety associated to her death. So they took all the information that they could about her out of the public view. So I basically just watched all videos that I could of people discussing her personality and things of that nature. And the hardest part was actually looking at the coroner's report to see the 51 different stab wounds that she had, face sliced up and things like that. And the biggest part that helped with this whole process was that Brad let us do what we do, which is just try to emulate these people as the best we can and to give us that space to work in. And then to show up with all these other actors who just really listen and they bring themselves to the part as well. So thank you.
Vanessa was interviewed by an Australian network and gave an amazing interview with laid out all this wonderful information, and we were all surprised by it. So you've got fans down under. That's great. Jency was on NBC5 interview. Did a great job. So I really appreciate you guys. This is important. You guys, not only did you show up and deliver to act, but you also help us spread the word and promote the show in ways, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if you guys always do that, if it was this particular experience, but all I can say is I really, really appreciate it. You guys go out and market the show and spread the word, and that helps. And REELZ notices. The network loved what you did, and all those efforts are greatly appreciated. So I'm going to turn it over. If you guys have any questions for these guys in terms of what they did or playing their characters, I do want to start just obviously with Sharon and Charlie here, Penelope and David, and ask sort of a stock question, but it's always pretty revealing. What was the biggest challenge that you had playing Sharon Tate? And did anyone ever tell you you looked like Sharon Tate before you were cast in this role?
No one had ever told me that I looked like Sharon Tate until I got cast for this role, and then everyone's like, oh my god, yeah, I told you, I knew it this whole time. Like, my whole life, no one ever mentioned her. But now I get it all the time. The hardest part was definitely the murder scene. I mean, that was really intense, I think, for all of us. And it was much longer than what was on TV. It was like a few hours. So just getting to that dark place was really hard, but also really rewarding at the end of the day.
He's better when you ask him a question, because he's like shy and wonderful and like so just so darn nice. And that lends itself to my question. And again, I'm asking this as a director because it fascinates me. How do you get from this sort of timid David Burkhart, you guys are great, thanks, to this guy with the voice and the eyes and that expression and all that stuff you did that just blew us away? How do you get from A to Z, and what process is involved in that?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. If this never happens again in my life, I will die. I guess coming from Oklahoma City, which is about 3 hours away, and for a slow driver like me, it's about 4 hours. Just driving here and putting YouTube videos of Manson non-stop. I was in the middle of when I auditioned for this, I auditioned for stuff all the time. You send a tape and then you don't hear anything, and so you move on with life. And I had been acting in a play called 4,000 Miles, and that was consuming my life. And then all of a sudden this happened. And so for a week, I had to stop my life and come down and downloading, Googling just Charles Manson images, looking at his face and his eyes, reading stories. I'm sure Sarah, my girlfriend, got tired of it. It had to become an obsession. And the hardest thing to do, I will say this, I wasn't there for the, I guess what would be the third act, the killings. I heard about it, but I wasn't there. And I can tell you, just watching the show, it's kind of a conflicting feeling because I had this amazing experience with everybody. I'm just now meeting you for the first time. But everybody here, I had a genuine, amazing experience. We all really like each other, and I feel like these are my brothers and sisters, even though I knew them for a very short amount of time. I think what we were doing and the nature of it caused us to bond. And but just on the way here, there are people that do sympathize with Charles Manson and wear him for art and do these things. And if you listen to him for as many hours as I did, and maybe you have as well, he speaks intelligently, and sometimes he can make sense with the things that he says. The problem is that he's a liar. He's a big liar, and he's a racist, and he's a part of these murders. And I think that this show really reminds us of that. And it's a very bad place to be driving down to Dallas with Manson on repeat. And so you get to set, it didn't stop. You have these scenes, and then you're right, after when it was cut, I had to go back and listen to him and imitate his voice, get his mannerisms, so that I wouldn't snap out of it. And that was hard.
Well done. Well, a big hand for our cast here. I thought they did an amazing job. Are there any questions from the audience? Any questions anyone who wants to